Hi everybody, it's Susan from Sunrise Quilt Studio, and today is week 5 of our Stash Buster block series, and the block we're doing today is called Buckeye Beauty, and we're going to get into half square triangles with this block, and I'll show you an easy way to make these. So we have half square triangles and 4 patches, and it makes a real pretty block. So I'm going to adjust the camera and show you how to make this block. Okay, today's block is going to be a little bit more complex than the other blocks we've done. We've got triangles in this one, and it's still a 4-patch block, but we're going to learn how to make these half square triangles and put them together with the 4 patches. So the fabrics that you're going to need, we'll start with the white, which is the background, whatever background color you choose. You're going to need 1 square that is 4 7/8 inch square, and then you're going to need 4 2.5 inch squares. And then for the gold that I've used here on the other half of the triangle and the half square triangles, you'll also need a 4 7/8 inch square. And for the orange, you're going to need 2 2.5 inch squares, and for the brown, also 2 2.5 inch squares. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this white 4 7/8 inch square, and we're going to draw a diagonal line corner to corner. And I'm going to give this a little quick press because it's a little bit wrinkled right there. And so I'm just going to take my ruler, and I have a air-soluble marker here. It's a fine point, and I'm just going to go from corner to corner. Now you can use a water-soluble marker or a pencil, whatever you want, because you're going to be cutting along that line, so it isn't going to show. Now I want to pair this up with the gold square, and this is a gold batik, so I'm going to choose what side I like the best. And they look the same to me, so it doesn't matter. But we're going to put right sides together. So this is the wrong side of your 4 7/8 inch white square or your background fabric. So that'd be the wrong side. Now we're going to stitch a 1/4 inch away from this drawn line on both sides. So I'm going to adjust the camera so you can see the sewing machine and show you how that's done. Okay, I have my 1/4 inch piecing foot on, and for this one it's going to be easier for me to line my gauge, my little ledge over here along this drawn line. And so I'm going to start stitching on the left side of the line. Now your piecing, 1/4 inch piecing foot may be different than mine, so you may need to make a different adjustment than what I am. And then I'm just going to flip it around. I'm going to tug a little thread to give me a little slack here. And then move those threads out of the way. And let's see if I can pull the right thread. There we go. Wanted to get that slack out a little bit. And then just stitch down again. And just take your time. You're not in a race. Okay. I'm going to clip threads on both sides. And then I'll show you what that looks like. And then you can see from here, from the gold side, you can see those 2 lines of stitching. And from this side, you can see them. My drawn line is already starting to fade. So next thing you're going to do is to cut these apart. And I'm just going to use my scissors, but you can use your rotary cutter if you want, and just cut along that line. And it doesn't have to be perfect because this is your seam allowance. It's not going to make any difference if you're off a little bit. Okay, now we're ready to press these open. Okay, I want to press towards the gold, so I'm going to put the gold faced up, and I'm going to press those seams. Now what we've cut apart is on the bias edge, so that could be a little bit stretchy, but the stitching will help keep it from stretching, but still be gentle with that. And just press those open, and the same here. There we go. And here you go, you have your half square triangle. Now you notice you have these little dog ears here on the end. I like to just trim those off, so I just trim them flush with the block. I'll do that on both of them. That's just less bulk to deal with when you're piecing the rest of the block together and when you're quilting, and a lot of people leave them in, so there's no problem with doing that, but I like to take them out. So I'm going to go ahead and lay these in position, and then I'm going to lay out my other pieces and work on those 4 patches. So let's start with the orange squares 2. Let's start with the orange squares first, and those we're going to go in the corners right here opposite each other. And then we'll have the white 2.5 inch squares next, and they'll go on either side of those orange pieces. And then our brown will go right there. So now we're ready to put together our 4 patch units. So I'm just going to go ahead and flip these over and stitch on this edge of those, and on this one the same thing on this edge. And I'm just going to stitch all 4 of these units together. Those are the units for the first 4 patch, and I'll start on the second set. Okay, now it's time to press these. And I'm just going to put them back where they belong, and then we'll press those. Okay, so let's look at these. This piece will go here, and that piece there, this one here, and this one here. So I'm going to press towards the dark fabric on each one of these. So I'm going to put the dark fabric up and press it in place, and then press it open. So press in place and then press open. And what that does is, I'll do this one correctly. Lay the dark side up and press towards your dark side. And then just have to flip that one around. Okay, that's better. And this one, press the dark side up. Now, if your other pieces keep getting in the way like mine are, you can always move them out of the way and then just put everything back as you get to the next step. Okay, so this is our block right there. So now I need to sew these two together and these two together. And what I'm looking for again is I'm wanting to make sure these seams are nested together. So I want to just snug those up together, and it should look like that. And so I'm going to go ahead and stitch these down, and then we'll press, and then we'll put the rest of the block together. Okay, I'm finishing off the 4 patches. Just lining my seams up, or my raw edges up, and trying to grab my threads here. There we go. And finish this one up. And then the same on this one, just nest my seams together. Okay, ready to press again. This piece goes here, and this piece goes here. So it doesn't matter which way you press these, whichever way you want, because you're going to have a dark fabric on either one, either seam, whichever way you press it. If I press it this way, the orange may show through the white. If I press it this way, the brown may show. So it doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to lay them like this and press this one towards the brown, and then over here this one will be pressed towards the orange. And just press those good. And okay, a little bit more stitching to do, and then we'll be done. These 2 units are going to go together, and these 2 units. So I've got this seam here is pressed back, so I'm going to keep my finger on that to make sure it stays down and doesn't flip over. And then just continue stitching. And then do the next unit. And this time the 4 patch is up, so I can watch that seam and make sure it doesn't flip. And if you have a stylus, that's a good place to use it. Time to press again. So I'm going to put the units out where I can see them, and these are going to press easier going towards the gold. So I'm going to do that, and that's because there's no seam here. The more seams you have, the more reluctant your fabric is to go in that direction. It wants to take the path of least resistance, and those seams make it harder for it to want to turn that direction. So let's do this one here. And that looks good. Okay, one more seam and then we'll be done. So fold those over and nest those seams together again right there. And then we'll get them stitched. I'm going to go ahead and pin this. Oh, it's not always necessary. I'm just going to do it just for fun. And here we go, our last seam. Okay, I have a seam coming up, so I'm making sure it's laying in the right direction. And then make sure this seam stays down. Okay. We are done sewing, and press it one more time and we'll be done. Okay. Press the seam as I sewed it and then just press it open. And here we go. It looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. So here we go. The Buckeye Beauty block. I think it's a pretty block. And this one, you could do a lot with this if you had a quilt full of these blocks. Lots of different designs you can make out of this. And I hope you'll give it a try. Well, I hope you're enjoying this series. I'm having a lot of fun using some of my scraps up and making new blocks and getting ideas for more quilts. Don't know when that'll happen, but yeah, I'm enjoying it, and I hope you are too. And I hope you will click the like button if you like this video, and if you haven't subscribed yet, I hope you will consider that. Just click that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever new videos come up. I'm posting twice a week at this point, and I hope to continue to do that throughout the year. So I hope I will also see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. For more quilting ideas, click on the video links. And to keep up with my newest projects, click on the subscribe button. I hope to see you again soon.